Tingy Gamer here, and yes, it is time. You already know what time it is. It is version 1.6 time, which means that there are new agents to discuss, which means that I have to drop a new guide video. So for this guide video, I'm going to be talking about Soldier Zero Anby, or Sanby for short, Pulchra, and Trigger. So this is just going to be an on-the-surface guide, just basically me telling you guys what to look out for, and give you guys some suggestions. So basically W engines, teams, as well as discs. Basically just to pre-farm. You can pre-farm for these, but not I guess not Anby's, I would say, because Anby's disc set is not out yet, so you can't farm for that, but you can pre-farm her 2-piece set at least. So yeah, but as for now, well, just keep this as a typical guide video. So once her this set comes out, you can just farm for that. But with that being said, just like all my other guide videos, this is just going to be a typical guide. I'm just going to be talking about what recommendations that you should do on W engines and this set, as well as teams. So well, without any further ado, let's just get this started. So Sanby is an electric attack agent. Her whole point on her gameplay is to mark an enemy. So you can mark an enemy up to 3 times. For each mark, or in this case, additional damage you're able to deal, she does electric damage. So the more marks you have, the more electric damage you're able to do. So think of it like Haramasa's dash attack marker, where you're able to aim and then mark the enemy and do a dash attack. For Anby, it's kind of similar, where she needs to mark an enemy to do electric damage, but it's probably more consistent than Haramasa's by the gameplay, it looks like. So Anby looks like a kind of better Haramasa in a way. So it looks like she is going to be a pretty consistent electric DPS, and she's able to do a ton of damage. So if that is your boat, then she is pretty good. She also is able to attack fast, which means that you're able to squeeze a lot of damage out of her before the enemy gets up from stun. So looks like a pretty good agent. Well, as for teams, she is from the unknown faction. Even though we already know what squad she's from. She's from Mobile Squad. She's from Mobile Squad, everyone. So, Sanby is from Mobile Squad, but her additional ability doesn't really matter, because her additional ability condition is literally stun and support. This means that she literally has the same additional ability as Evelyn from the Stars of Lyra. Yeah. So this means that you're able to link up with all of the stun and support agents in the game, which means that you're able to link up with Anby, Nicole, characters like Reina, Lycon, Chingy, Lighter, Lucy. You're also able to link up with Sokaku and Astra. And of course, Trigger and Pulchra, which are new to version 1.6. So you're able to link up with a ton of agents, which is really good. So you're able to get the same flexibility with Evelyn, I guess. So as for her best teams, or Sanby's best teams, it's probably going to be Mobile Squad related. So you're able to just run something like Sanby, Trigger, and then a third character of your choice. Most likely it's going to be Astra Yao, because Astra is the best support in the game, I would say. If you want a shield character, then you run Caesar, which can be linked up with anyone. So it's either you run Astra or Caesar to make the best Sanby team in the game. So Sanby, Trigger, Caesar, Astra. Either or Caesar or Astra. If you don't want Trigger, you could just run another stun agent like Chingy if you want more stun damage multiplier. But again, spoiler alert, Trigger does give a debuff on enemies when the enemy is not stunned, so you're able to get a stun damage multiplier when the enemy is not stunned, which is really good for Anby, since she's able to just do more damage anyway. So yeah, it's pretty nice. But besides Trigger, I guess you can just run Chingy. Chingy is probably like a good substitute. As for the best free-to-play team in the game, you can run Sanby and maybe Pulchra, which does give you the link. And also Pulchra her additional ability does give you a link as well, because all she needs is an attack agent and her own faction. and Anby is an attack agent, which means that the last slot is free, which means that you just run Lucy. Yeah, Lucy. That's your best Anby free-to-play team. It looks really, really nice. Anby does look really, really interesting. She can be run in basically any team that she wants because of stun and support. Her additional ability is going to age like fine wine. It is really, really, really busted. So yeah, there is Anby, or at least a good look on Anby. Looks really, really, really good. So yeah, there's Anby. So as for the W engines of choice, there are a couple W engines that I would recommend. If you did play in 1.4, which I'm pretty sure 100% of you did, because a certain Kitsune came out during that time, the Marcato Desire is the best W engine, at least the best free-to-play W engine. Of course, just like every other guide video, I don't count the S-rank W engines because they're not released yet. And obviously, they're going to be 100% good on the agent because it's their W engine. Of course, it's going to be good. It's their signature W engine. So, I can only showcase all the free-to-play options and sometimes quote-unquote free-to-play options for players. So, as for your free-to-play, it is Marcato Desire. This is the best W engine. Literally a crit rate W engine with a EX, special attack, or chain. Gives you attack bonus, which is really good. And also, when they are under a attribute anomaly, which is probably going to be very often with Anby, you can get an additional 9.6% damage. So yeah, so Anby is going to be doing a ton of damage, increased attack, as well as crit rate. And her additional ability does increase her crit rate, which means that if you would stack like a bunch of crit damage on her, she's going to be popping off like crazy. So yeah, Marcato Desire is obviously probably the #1 pick for the best free-to-play weapon in the game. So yeah, it's really, really good. If you don't have that, however, you can run Gilded Blossom, which is a 1.1 W engine. So if you played the game in 1.1, which maybe some of you didn't, it's a pretty good W engine, honestly. It gives you high attack as well as increased damage dealt, as well as EX special attack increase of 24%. So it's a really, really good W engine in general. Gives you a bunch of attack as well as increased damage. And of course, Anby or Anby is going to be doing a bunch of EX special attacks as well as EXs in general because of her gameplay mechanic, which is marking the enemy. So it's basically a pretty good W engine for the most part. If you somehow don't have these two W engines for some reason, these free-to-play W engines, then you can run Cannon Rotor, which is a W engine that you get from BP or the Battle Pass. So you can get this pretty good W engine, which gives you 20% crit rate and also increases your attack, and landing a critical hit will increase your attack by 200% as damage. You have to fork over $10. You have to fork over $10 to get this. So if you don't mind spending $10 for a battle pass, then you can get Cannon Rotor, which is one of her best W engines. But if not, then I guess you can just run like a typical W engine, like the Starlight Knight one. But as of right now, these three are probably her best W engines. 2 of them are free to play. So if you don't have Marcato Desire, I don't know what to tell you, because this is a really good W engine and everyone should probably have this. Even in S1, it's really, really good. So yeah, Marcato Desire is going to be her best. If you don't have that, then Gilded Blossom, which is another free to play. If you have $10 to fork over, you can just run Cannon Rotor. So yeah, that is it for W engine suggestions. Looks pretty basic, to be honest. I mean, she is just a attack agent, so you just run attack W engines. So yeah. As for the drive disc set, this is a pretty obvious one. It's Shadow Harmony. Shadow Harmony is going to be her best 4-piece set. She does aftershock damage, which is her main gimmick. When she does aftershock damage, she's able to increase the attack and crit rate of her attacks by up to 3 times, a 4% increase for each. So yeah, it's really, really good. So she's able to get consistent crits in. since her whole gameplay is literally aftershock damage. She does aftershock damage all the time. That is her whole gameplay. So it's really, really good. It's obviously going to be her best 4-piece set. So definitely grind this out. It's really, really good. But you probably don't have that this set ready because, well, it's not released yet. It is currently 1.5. So if you are at 1.5 and you want to get for a disc set ready before grinding for Shadow Harmony, you can run 4-piece Thunder Metal, which is okay. So you're able to get a increased electric damage of 10% and also increase the attack by 27%. This is just your typical DPS electric this set. It's really, really basic. So yeah, Thunder Metal is a good substitute for a Shadow, but you definitely do want to replace Thunder Metal with Shadow of Harmony ASAP because this is going to give her the most damage, obviously. I mean, it's her main 4-piece set, so yeah. And as for the 2-piece set, it's flexible. It's really, really flexible. If you want her to do more crit damage, get Branch of Bladesong. Branch of Bladesong gives you a flat plus 16% crit damage. Yep, simple as that. So if you want more crit damage on 2-piece, then you can run Branch of Bladesong. If you want more crit rate, you can run Woodpecker Electro, which gives you 8% crit rate. So you can flip-flop between the two. If you are confident that you have good crit rate, crit damage, then you can run 2-piece Thunder Metal. That is her best 2-piece set. So either of these three would work. Mix and match your Anby however you want. But as for the 4-piece set, it's already set in stone. Just run Shadow Harmony. It's her best 4-piece set. As for her best 2-piece set, run either one of these three depending on what your situation is. Want more crit rate? Woodpecker. Want more crit damage? Branch of Bladesong. Want to increase your electric damage? Thunder Metal. It's really, really that simple. So yeah. And that is it for Anby. And now it's time to move on to Pulchra. So, Pulchra is a physical stun agent, and she is pretty good as a rank. So her whole gimmick is that she's able to attack off field. She's able to go into a state where she is able to stun off field, where she's able to follow up on agent attacks. This means that she basically does benefit off of friendly agent or friendly unit type specials. So basically like Lucy or something like that. But it really doesn't matter since Pulchra is probably just going to be there to stun the enemy. So yeah, her whole basic gameplay is that she stuns the enemy, but she can stun with other stun agents, which means that you stun faster. Yeah, that's her whole gimmick. She just attacks off field as a stun agent. So yeah. As for the faction, it's Sons of Caledon, and thankfully for her, well, at least kind of thankfully, she's able to link up with SOC because that is one of her additional abilities. I did spoil it earlier, but Pulchra does have Attack and Sons of Caledon as her linking set for agents. So Attack and Sons of Caledon, this is basically kind of similar to Qingyi, I guess, in a way, or lighter, where they're able to link up with attack agents, and the secondary is their own faction. So this means that you're able to link up with attack agents like Nekomata, Billy, Anton, Ellen, Corin, 11. You're able to link up as well with Shuyan, Haramasa, and Evelyn, as well as Anby. So yeah, all those attack agents are at your disposal, and of course for SOC you get Caesar, Bernice, Lighter, Lucy, and Piper, which are really good agents. All of those 5 are really good agents. So as for teams, Pulchra can honestly be fit into basically any attack team that you want, since she is able to link up for free because of an attack agent, just like Lighter and Qingyi. You're able to run her on stuff like Nekomata. So if you want Nekomata to become a really good DPS, then you can run Pulchra. You can also run other attack agents as well, like Ellen. Ellen is pretty good to link up with this as well, so you're able to do like Ellen, Pulchra, and probably like Sokaku as like a free-to-play team for Ellen teams. Speaking of free-to-play teams, she's able to link up with those as well. So, you could just run stuff like Pulchra, Lucy, and someone like Bernice or something like that. Or you're able to run something like 11, if you do choose her for free, Lucy and Pulchra, which also gets linked up for free because Soldier 11, all she needs is a fire agent or Opal Squad, which is really, really easy to get because Lucy is a fire agent. So that is your free-to-play team. You can just run 11, Pulchra, Lucy. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Just think of Pulchra like Chingy and Lighter, but A rank. You're able to run them on any team. You want to run Ether? You can run Shoyan, Pulchra, Astra. You want to run Ice? You can run Ellen, Pulchra, Sokaku. You want to run Electric? You can run Anby, Pulchra, and someone like Reina or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty flexible for the most part, and she is a pretty flexible agent in general. So yeah, just basically run her on whatever team you want. She's really that good. So yeah, that is Pulchra team options. She looks pretty nice. So as for the W engines of choice, these are basically going to be the same for Trigger as well because both are literally the same agent. Pulchra is a rank trigger. I'm just going to be saying that. So, for Pulchra's best W engine, of course, besides her main one, it's going to be the Restrained. So, the Restrained is, well, it's the best S rank stun W engine in the game. You literally get a lot of impact. Basic attacks deal increased days and damage. And since Pulchra is going to be doing a lot of damage anyway, yeah, she's able to stun. That's basically it. That's all I need to say. So, pretty straightforward W engine. If you do have the shop currency, definitely get this. If you do have a spare one, definitely slap this on her. It's pretty good. So yeah. If you don't have the Restraint, then you could run something like the 6-shooter. But just like the other Battle Pass W engine, the Cannon Rotor, you need to fork over $10. But for $10, you get a impact percent W engine that increases your EX special attack and also increases your days. So it's pretty good for someone like Pulchra since she is going to be doing EXs sometimes. So yeah, it's pretty good W engine in general. If you have the $10, you can just fork it over for a 6-shooter. It's pretty good. As for her free-to-play option, you could just run Precious Fossilized Core, which gives you a 15% impact and also increases days depending on what the enemy's HP is. It's pretty easy to get to S5, which gives you a 16% days and also gives you a further 16% days if the health is no more than 75%, which is pretty common to get. So this is a pretty good free-to-play W engine. You could literally just get this from Box Galaxy. It's really simple to get. So I guess for a recap, if you have shop currency, you can get the Restrained, which is definitely the best W engine for her besides her main one. If you have $10, you can fork over 6-shooter. And if you are a free-to-play, you can just run Precious Fossilized Core. It is a really good W engine. So yeah. And that is it for the W engine options for Pulchra. It's time to go over her this set. I would say again, I'm going to be saying this again, it's the same. It's the same for all of them. It's the same for every single agent. So yeah, so the main this set for Pulchra is going to be Shockstar Disco. This is her best this set. So it literally increases days when you do basics, dashes, dodges, specials, and EXs. She's going to be doing this a lot. So it's just a no-brainer. It's really simple to get this effect proccing. It is the best 4-piece set. And of course, her main role is to stun the enemy. The more days you inflict, the faster you stun the enemy. It's pretty simple. As for the 2-piece set, it is up to you. So if you want to get EXs more often, you can do 2-piece Swing Jazz. But if you want her to do more damage, and she does do off-field damage when you attack, you can run 2-piece Fang Metal, which increases your physical damage by 10%. So it's really up to you to decide whether you want a 2-piece Swing for more energy or 2-piece Faint for more physical damage. So it's just like Anby, you're able to pick and choose between the two. If you want to do more damage, you can run Fang Metal. if you want her to get more EXs more often, you can run Swing Jazz. So yeah, that's basically it. And that is it for Pulchra's this options. Her 4-piece set is Shockstar Disco. It's definitely the set every single stun agent runs. So definitely Pulchra needs to run this. As for 2-piece set, you can either run Swing Jazz for energy or Fang Metal for more damage. So yeah, that's basically it for Pulchra in a nutshell. And the last but not least agent right here is Trigger of the squad. So Trigger right here is a electric stun agent, and her whole gameplay is literally just do sniper shots. She is a sniper. She shoots from a distance, and that is all she does. The more shots you do, the more meter you're able to build up. Once you swap out of her into another agent, she's able to consume meter if you do specific attacks to do aftershock damage. So yeah, it's basically like Anby in a way, where she does aftershock damage. So she's able to attack off field. So it's kind of like a hybrid between Anby's aftershock as well as Pulchra. So she is able to do damage with aftershock, but she is a stun agent, which means that she's able to stun the enemy pretty fast, just like Pulchra. So she is kind of like a hybrid between the two. But her most important role is to stun the enemy, so that is what she is. She's just a stunner, a off-field stunner, kind of similar to Pulchra. She is literally a S-rank Pulchra. So yeah. As for the squad, it's Obel Squad, but she doesn't use Obel Squad, just like Anby. Yeah. So her additional ability is pretty weird. It's attack and same attribute. This means that you can only run attack agents and electric agents. So yeah, this leaves you with a really weird pool of agents, but it does fit her well because, I mean, there are some pretty good electric agents in the game. So you could run her. I guess I could just list off all the agents you can run. You can run Nekomata, normal Anby. Yes, you could do that. Billy. You can also run Grace, which is an electric agent. Anton, who is an attack agent. You can run Reina. You can run Corin. You can run 11, who is an attack agent. You can run Shuoyan, who is a attack agent. You can run Qingyi, who's electric. You can also run Seth. You can run you can run stuff like Haramasa. You can also run Yanagi, because she's electric too. You can run Evelyn, who is an attack agent, and of course Sanby. So this leaves you with, well, you have to run Obel Squad. That's her best team. So just like before, it's basically Sanby's best team. You run Sanby, Trigger, and then Astra or Caesar. That's literally it. That's Trigger's best team. As for the other teams you can run Haramasa, Trigger, and then someone like Lucy or something like that. Lucy doesn't really need her additional ability, so you could just give the attack buff to Haramasa, and then Haramasa pops off. If you already have Reina, then you can run Reina with Haramasa, so you can just run like a mono electric team with Haramasa, Reina, Trigger. That works too, which increases all of their additional abilities, which gives you the 3 out of 3. You can also run double stun, which is really weird, but it does work. You can run Sanby, Trigger, and Qingyi. You can also run Haramasa, Qingyi, Trigger as well. So there are pretty weird and wacky options that you're able to pick as well. As for the free-to-play options, you can run Haramasa, Trigger, and someone like maybe like Anby for double stun. You can run Nicole for support. You can run Lucy for support, Sokaku for support. You can just run anything that you want. So yeah, Sokaku will get the proc thanks to Haramasa, because Haramasa is a Section 6 character, so she is able to get her additional ability off. So yeah, that is your free-to-play team there. It is Haramasa, Trigger, Sokaku. But other than that, she is just a typical stunner. electric stunner, so you just want to run her mainly on electric teams and also teams that really do need her damage. So yeah, pretty good agent overall, I would say. Is pretty interesting. She's able to stun the enemy, or she's able to give stun damage multiplier on an enemy that isn't stunned. Yeah, it's pretty unique to her. And that is it for Trigger. It's time to talk about her W engines. So just like Pulchra, I'm just going to be glossing over these real quick. The Restrained. Just like Pulchra right here, you're able to get impact and increase your basic attacks. Her sniper damage is basic attack damage. You can literally hold the basic attack button and do basic attacks. So yeah, it's really good on her. Besides her main S rank W engine, of course, this is her best S rank W engine if you have the spare shop points. Just like Pulchra, if you do have $10 to spare 6-shooter, it's literally the same thing. You're able to use EX special attacks. Her EXs do actually hit pretty hard, as well as give you a ton of stun, which is really good. It's able to give you a ton of days to stun the enemy. And as for the free-to-play option, Precious, Fossilized Core, Impact percent, more days. Yep, that's basically it. So, remember when I said that Trigger is literally S-rank Pulchra? She literally is. So, you just literally run the same thing. You run Restrained if you have the shop currency, 6-shooter if you have the $10, and if you're free-to-play, you run Precious, Fossilized Core. That's basically it. As for the this set now, just like Pulchra, it's the same thing. Yeah, really interesting, right? So 4-piece is Shockstar Disco. Basic dash, dodge, special EX. She does basics. Literally, her sniper shots are basic attacks. Enough said. As for the 2-piece set, it's similar to Pulchra. You need more energy, Swing Jazz. You need more damage, Thunder Metal. If you want her to do more damage, then Thunder Metal is for you. If you want to do more EXs, Swing Jazz is for you. And that's basically it for Trigger. So now it's time to recap, basically give you like a speed round on all these agents, and basically wrap this up for the video. So Anby right here. Anby is an electric attack agent. Her specialty is doing a bunch of DPS damage on marked targets. Her additional ability is stun and support, which basically leaves you with a cast of characters like Anby, Nicole. You also get Kaleda, who is a stun agent as well. You're able to get Reina, Lycon, Chingy. You're also able to get Lighter, Lucy, and Sokaku, and Astra, and as well as Trigger, which is from her own faction, and Pulchra, who is a new agent as well. She's able to link up with W engines like the Marcato Desire. This is going to be her best free-to-play W engine. Really good W engine with crit rate and EX and chain attack damage, which is what she is mainly going to be doing. If you don't have that, you can just run Gilded Blossom, which is another free-to-play W engine you get from version 1.1. And if you have $10 to spare, you can run Cannon Rotar, which gives you crit rate as well. As for her main disc set of choice, 4-piece Shadow Harmony is going to be her best 4-piece set. Literally does aftershock damage, and that is what her main damage dealing option is. She does aftershock damage when she marks the enemy. As for the best 2-piece set, you can run either one of, or if you want more crit rate, you can run Woodpecker Electro. If you want more crit damage, you want to run Branch and Blade Song. If you want her to do more damage in general, you can run 2-piece Thunder Metal, and that is it. As for Pulchra right here, she is a physical stun agent. Her whole gimmick is to attack off field and attack with agents on field. Her additional ability is Attack and Sons of Caledon, which leaves you with characters like Nekomata, Billy, Anton, Ellen, Corin, 11, Shueyan. You're able to get Sons of Caledon members as well, like Caesar, Bernice, Lighter, Lucy, Piper. You're also able to get the other attack agents like Haramasa, Evelyn, as well as Anby. So, looks like a pretty good selection of characters as well, especially for a A-rank stunner that you get for free. As for the W engine of choice, Restrained, if you have the shop currency, it is really good. She does do basic attacks, which links up with this W engine really nicely. If you have 10 bucks to spare, you can run 6 shooter, which gives you impact percent and increase EX special attack. And if you have if you are a free-to-play, you can just run Precious Fossilized Core, which is a free-to-play W engine that you get, which gives you impact percent and gives you more days depending on the HP of the enemy, which is really nice. As for the 4-piece set, it is Shockstar Disco. That is her best 4-piece set. Essentially is a stunner. She wants to stun the enemy as fast as she can, which Shockstar Disco does really well. As for 2-piece set, if you want her to do more EXs, you can go Swing Jazz. If you want her to do more damage, you can go Fanged Metal. And that is basically it. For Trigger, it is similar to Pulchra, where she is a electric stun agent which attacks off field. She also can attack on field as well to build up meter. Once she builds up enough meter, you can switch off of her, and she does damage similar to Pulchra, where she's able to follow up with your damage, which is really nice. Trigger's additional ability is Attack and Electric, which gives you characters like Nekomata, Anby, Billy, Grace, Anton, Reina, Ellen, Korin, 11, Shoyun, Chingy, Haramasa, Yanagi, Evelyn, and as well as Sanby, which is a really good option of agents and a good selection of agents as well. As for the W engines, similar to Pulchra, the Restrained helps her with her basic attack damage, which is really nice. Able to basic attack days, which is really good for her as well, since she does do sniper shots. As for the A rank, you can run 6 shooter if you have 10 bucks to spare. Gives you impact and does the same thing as well. EX specials, she does a lot. As for the best free to play, it's Pressurized Fossil Core. Similar to Pulchra, you just do it for the impact percent as well as give you increased days depending on the enemy's HP. As for the best 4-piece set, Shockstar Disco again. She is a stun agent, so she wants to stun the enemy, which means that you get 15% more days on the target, which is really good. So she's able to stun the enemy as fast as she can. Similar to Pulchra, her best 2-piece sets are Swing Jazz and Thunder Metal. If you want to do more EXs, you can run Swing Jazz. If you want to do more damage, you run Thunder Metal. And that right there is basically it for the 1.6 pre-release guide video. So hope you guys enjoyed the guide video. If you want to see more guide videos like these in the future and you want to support the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me if you do. Support the channel, helps me keep motivated and making more videos and pumping out content for you guys. So again, if you guys enjoyed this type of content and if you want to see more, be sure to do those things. I really do appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. It really does mean a lot to me, so thank you guys so much. As for the comments down below, what do you think about these agents? Are you going to be summoning for Sanby? Are you going to be summoning for Pulchra? Are you going to be summoning for Trigger? Are you going to be pre-farming these now? Are you going to be taking this video into consideration? Also, let me know what I missed in this guide video. All your feedback is really greatly appreciated. It'll help make the guide more and more helpful if you guys comment down below. So again, if you do that, thank you guys so much. I will be responding to as many of you as I can. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching this pre-release guide video. And I hope to see you guys again in the next gotcha video.